What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to talk about one of the greatest mysteries I truly believe in gaming. I want to talk about the ending of Batman Arkham City and really the beginning of Batman Arkham Knight. And I want to talk about how this is really like the biggest mystery I think is left unsolved or not discussed enough in gaming. Now, I absolutely adore the Batman Arkham franchise. We've been covering Batman in a lot of videos on the channel, getting ready for eventually Warner Brothers Montreal's next Batman Arkham game, as well as maybe his appearance in the next Rocksteady game as well. So I truly adore these Arkham games. I'm a huge fan of it, and we've made lots of videos on the channel about the Arkham games. So definitely, if you guys are new here, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and go check out those videos as well. But I wanted to talk about the Joker's death, okay? The Joker's death at the end of Arkham City and really going into the beginning of Arkham Knight, because this was just something that, here's the thing. Firstly, I have no idea, but I believe the answer is no. I have no idea if this was ever discussed by Rocksteady. If this was ever literally somebody actually verbally said this out loud or commented about the Joker's death and really the widespread mistake I believe that they did, or whatever they were getting at the end of Arkham City. And here's how the story goes. I caught this as soon as it happened. I was telling my cousin Tyler about this years after it, leading into Arkham Knight, and I was one of the biggest supporters of the fact that I believe the Joker was still alive. I couldn't have been more confident, including the day this game came out, that the Joker not only was in Arkham Knight, but that the Joker would be alive at Arkham Knight. And maybe Scarecrow was just kind of like a smoke and gun, that he wasn't actually, there the whole time. It was Joker orchestrating the whole thing. I was a super big pusher of that idea because I just 100% believed it. And here's how the story goes, and I'll be showing this on the screen as you guys are watching this. The end of Arkham City, you have Batman holding the vial, the cure, the thing that'll cure both him and Joker, and he drinks half of it, right? He's going to leave the other half for Joker. We know that. He has it in his left hand. He has it in his left hand even when he throws the sword at Joker, stopping him from basically, drinking from the fountain of youth or becoming immortal, right? Ra's al Ghul's, fountain. He has the vial, the chamber, in his left hand, and he's throwing the sword in his right hand. When the thing blows up and he gets pushed back, the vial is still, if you slow it down and you watch it, or if you pause it or whatever, the vial is still in his left hand. When he wakes up, the vial is in his right hand. Now, I think that's one of the biggest mistakes in any game ever. I truly believe that, because at the time, I was thinking this is just a huge ploy by the Joker, and that he actually drank it, he was cured, he switched the thing, he switched the vial in his hands, and he escaped, and that's not the real Joker, just like it wasn't the real Joker basically 15 minutes ago when he was killed. That is, they switched. That's not the real Joker anymore, and that's the Joker that died, quote-unquote, died at the end. And so I thought that the real Joker made his escape and would return in a surprise way in Arkham Knight. Now, far-fetched, I guess. I think it would have been one of the cooler things they could have pulled. And here's the thing. Here I want to skip maybe towards the ending here. I love how they used the Joker in Arkham Knight. I think they really did it well. I know a lot of people, for some reason, were so tired of the Joker and just saying, like, can you have any other villain but the Joker? Scarecrow was the main villain. You had all of these side villains as well. And Joker was kind of just that thing in your mind. And obviously, he did kind of become the main villain towards the end. Even in his death, he was still the main villain, but I really liked it. Now, for future Batman games, do I need the Joker as a villain? No, I think the arc, I think the story is definitely fulfilled. I think it's done. I think they did a really good and different way, massively different way for sure, but I really loved how they used the Joker in Arkham Knight. So I'm okay with him being dead. It's just how they got there in me fooling myself, I guess. But again, even that is not very true. The vial switched hands. Now, is that an animator's fault? Is that whoever directed that scene, whoever actually scripted, whoever drew it, whoever animated it in terms of the code, everybody that was behind literally that scene, I either made the biggest mistake, I think, of their gaming careers, and I 100% believe that. I don't think that's exaggeration. The vial should not have switched hands. It was in his left hand the entire time. He wakes up, it's in his right hand. And when you're dealing with the Joker, and the fact that the Joker was already awake because he was, he was taunting Batman after, and then he jumps and he stabs the arm with the vial, leading to it dropping and breaking. So is the Joker that stupid that if you're gonna stab Batman like with a knife, you're gonna stab him in the arm that he's carrying? Of course he's gonna drop it. It's a knife. It's gonna hurt him. Why would you pick that arm to stab? So, or that like shoulder blade. So it really makes no sense that that's the body part, and that's the left or right side that he actually chose. And again, and even people were actually finding things later on in the game of how people were saying how there was like a hidden, literally the people, like the villains in the game, like the Joker's posse, was talking about how they may have seen somebody like escape through like a back door kind of thing. And there's like in-game conversations that they wrote of people kind of maybe they were like conspiracy theories that the Joker basically escaped, that wasn't the real Joker that died. And so you have all this stuff pushing it, and here's the biggest part. And this is back to the beginning of the video where I said that I don't know if anybody's ever commented. Firstly, I don't know if anybody's ever commented in terms of Rocksteady on why the vial switched hands at that point. I have no idea. I don't think that's ever happened, and I don't know why. I feel like that's a really cool and interesting, we're a small channel, but if I'm ever gifted the opportunity to talk to anybody at Rocksteady that's ever worked on Batman Arkham City, firstly, I'm going to congratulate them and thank them for, in my opinion, one of the greatest game trilogies of all time. But secondly, I'm going to say, did you guys know that you switched the vial in Batman's hand and nobody's really explained it? That's the second thing I'm going to tell them. But in Batman Arkham Knight, if you complete the game, if you do that, if you unlock everything, you 100% complete it, obviously there's the secret ending, but there's also the secret opening in which Joker wakes up before he's going to get cremated, and he laughs as he gets burned. Now here's the thing. This is the biggest thing, and this is honestly what annoys the heck out of me, if all things are like in the way that I think. Does that actually mean that the first 6 minutes of this video and what I was talking about, that all actually did happen? The Joker never did die. But here's the thing. Did he die and he just was like in a deep sleep and then he woke up as he was about to die just to let himself... It really... it's a cool little Easter egg. It's cool that, like, the beginning of the game, you restart the game. I don't actually even remember if you have to 100% complete. I think you maybe just have to start it on the hardest difficulty or something. It's not even that hard. I did it myself. I platinumed that game as well. But he wakes up. And so the question is that the real Joker that Batman's carrying out and leaves on Gordon's car at the end of Arkham City? Is that actually the real Joker? He kind of died, but he didn't. I mean, he just was really knocked out, and then he actually woke up as he was being killed, basically, by being burnt alive in Arkham Knight. Is that how it went? Because that really, first, I think that's a big FU to people like me who and I didn't have a YouTube channel back then, by the way, and if I did, I would have pushed this theory to the moon, because I 100% believed that if I had a YouTube channel, this would have been the #1 thing we covered. But even without the YouTube channel, I still talked about it. So was it an FU to the people like me that between Arkham City and Knight were just so and it wasn't just me, that were so positive that Joker was alive and that he had switched places, and that the real Joker would show up at Knight and he'd be perfectly fine. He wouldn't have any problems. Was that directed towards us? Like, hey, he didn't die. We wanted to throw this in as like a cool little thing. Oh, but he did die. He actually woke up right as he was being cremated, and so he still ended up being burnt alive and did die. The entire game happens. He's still completely dead, but he didn't exactly die at the end of Arkham City. He died right now. I think that's a huge, huge, huge mistake if that's the path that they actually went. Or, and here's the thing, something like that, like an unlockable, kind of bonus open entry thing, that when you're playing the game for the very first time, you don't see that. The question then becomes, is that like the lore? Is that actually like the mythos of the game? Like, is that what actually happened? Or, we see it on YouTube and stuff and people talk about it and whatnot, but most people that bought that game, I guarantee you, did not see that. I'd say 60-70% at least of the people that bought Arkham Knight, most people don't even finish single player games. That's just a proven stat. Most people only play 30-40% of a story. So most people didn't even beat the game, and that's just the math of it. So how many percentage of people actually beat it and then restarted it and saw that opening? Not a lot, a very small base. So most people just play it through with the fact that he was dead going into the crematory, and he was dead after, right? And again, having that bonus opening or that unlockable opening really is just like, okay, so all those theories that people came up with that he didn't actually die at the end of Arkham City, they weren't wrong because technically he wasn't dead, but they weren't right because that actually did happen. The vial broke. That was the real Joker that jumped on Batman's back and like stabbed him. You know, that all happened. And I just feel like it's a huge mess. I think this whole mystery thing is a huge mess because I don't really, and that came out, and the biggest thing with that is that, again, all the people that have talked about that, I saw that opening, I was like, what the holy, beep. Lots of swearing, not really, just kidding. But so much confusion, and really it was just like a cool thing. Like, oh, this is cool. People, a person posted it to YouTube. It got like a couple million views in the first day. Whatever, it became a huge thing. People saw it, but nobody talked about it. They're like, look, Joker was actually alive in the beginning. That's it. That's all. We're not gonna. I don't know. And like, I don't know if it's expected the gaming journalists like then ask questions based off that. I don't really think that's their job to have to do something so minute like that. I do think gaming journalists don't do their job in the first place, but I don't really expect them to do something like that. But you would think like then you would ask Rocksteady like, what happened? Like, what did you do? And that question, as far as what I know, that question was never. Now, maybe there's a Reddit Ask Me Anything out there that they commented, and I want you guys to let me know in the comments below if that actually happened. Do you know something that I don't? Did they comment on the ending of Arkham City? I know they commented after Arkham City and said he's dead. He's 100% dead. Those people that say he isn't dead, he's dead. I know that happened, but I want to know if there was anything else maybe said that people didn't really report on about the Joker between Arkham City and Arkham Knight. Let me know that stuff in the comments below, and let me know what you guys think about this mystery overall. I just thought it'd be kind of like a fun story, fun discussion to have with you guys. We've been covering the Arkham games quite a bit, so I wanted to make this video, 9 years too late or 8 years too late, but definitely something that I've always wanted to talk about. And now that I have the channel, now that I have the audience, I wanted to, bring that up to you guys about really what's happened. So let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit that bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up, and thank you as always for watching. We cover the Batman Arkham games quite often on this channel, so if you guys like that, make sure you stick around, and I hope to see you on the next video.